Pick it up. Donation. Thought it was trash. You ready? Yeah. Shit.
What's going on, everybody? It is your boy DJ Composition.
I am the coldest. You and them, you need to get some bongos. The coldest of the young OGs. I'm so cold, I got my coat on still. Cooler than a
polar bear's toenail.
Oh, well, let's go, man. Get this shit going.
And we are the two bright guys. 120 watch podcast edition, raw and uncut, so we can say a whole bunch of words without your babies around.
Yeah, I got a cussing problem. I gotta chill out. So you ready?
Ready?
Yeah, oh my God, man. First topic, man.
Let's do it.
Are you ready? I'm about to throw the oop to you. The role of the man in a modern day relationship, as a boyfriend and then as a husband.
The role of the man in a modern day
relationship. Today, 2018.
Well, I believe that
the children are the future. Alright, got my back on that.
Well, every relationship have a different set of dynamics. True. And I've said this before. If the woman in a relationship is like a corporate lawyer or a CEO or whatever, what she brings to the table could be completely different than what a lot of people would think. And in providing, it depends on the situation of the relationship.
So it varies from...
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everybody, the role of a man or a woman in a relationship, you're supposed to bring as much as you can of value to the table.
All right, give me the basics then. Like, not just... I know it's a dynamic, it's different parts. But give me the basics, like the bottom line. Like okay, for instance, we were talking about it off the camera. Gender roles.
Okay.
And how, and I said this before, I'll say it again. Nobody has a gender role but men and more particularly black males. So like I said, if you tell a woman to go to the kitchen, cook and clean, she
go to the kitchen.
I mean, I was getting my words a little tangled.
I hear you. No, that's all.
Okay, I was going to correct you earlier, but since you gonna let me move on?
We're gonna put it on the shirt.
Put it on the t-shirt. What shirt we on?
49.
48. So if you tell a woman to go to the kitchen, cook and clean or whatever, and she can say, well, this 2018, I ain't got to cook and clean. But if she asks you to shovel the snow or take the trash out, that's a part of the relationship.
It's 2018. You better put your moon boots on, baby, and get the shoveling.
With the Velcro.
Man, you can't say with that. The temperature and shit that change on the boot, I'm gonna buy you some red bottom moon boots so you can shovel in style, baby.
But you can't. Is that politically correct? Is taking out the trash or doing small things like that still just the role of the male in the relationship? Because we're talking about.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it's like this. You gonna have to pick a side on what you want. You can't say that you old fashioned and traditional, but you super independent and you can do all. You can't do that. You gotta pick a side of the lane. Because if you want to say that you old school and traditional, that means when I hit the door, I better have a hot meal on the table and all this other shit, and I go get the coat hanger. If that's
the coat hanger,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's some old school shit.
What's the coat hanger? Please inform me. What's the coat hanger?
When you drop the youngest off the OG, I'll tell you.
When I take my training wheels off.
Yeah, when the wheels come off and you full-fledged to the fullest effect of OGs, I'll tell you what that is. But you have to make a decision, okay? If we're going to be this, then hell yeah. Like, if it's good for me to do it, it should be good for you to do it. And that's how I feel.
And then if somebody's better at one thing or other, then you should.
If we're a team... Let's work as a team to win. The goal is to win. It ain't no competition amongst each other.
Well, it is amongst women.
If you can cook better than me, then you should be preparing more meals. I cook better than my wife.
Oh my God.
That's a fact.
So you ready to get put on the couch?
You ain't putting me on no couch.
You ain't never slept on the couch.
No one's forced me ever in my life to sleep on the couch.
Nobody.
Nada.
You ain't never been said, all right, you need to go.
No.
With your eyewear?
Not gonna happen.
You ain't grab your pillow and your
nope.
Your hyperallergenic pillow and your eyewear and
nope.
go to the couch?
Nope. No one's ever forced me to do that.
Nobody?
Nope.
Would you go to the couch to avoid an argument?
I don't mind arguments.
Oh, who knew? Oh my God.
I mean, I prefer not to have them, but it don't make me no...
You don't avoid an argument.
Let's do this, Brutus. Let's do it. Like, I don't care. Like, for real. I mean, we can have opposing thoughts on a matter. Let's just keep it respectful. I'm okay with
Women don't keep it respectful, though.
And there we have it.
Women go below the belt.
I'm just saying.
So, what is the problem with black women?
Whoa.
No. Let me finish my statement, player. Let me finish my statement. What is the problem with, or why can't black women find black men to match their standards? Are black women's standards too high?
I think the biggest issue is that there hasn't been enough examples and communications of healthy relationships. So no one really knows what the fuck is going on.
Nobody know what they want.
I mean, like, I could be like, oh, I want a Halle Berry type, whatever. But if I don't know what's going to be the most beneficial relationship for me, like, it doesn't matter. She could look like Halle Berry, but be just fucking stupid.
Well, that wears off too after time.
Yeah, but I'm saying so many people just they can't get beyond the surface level. You know, and there hasn't been enough examples of healthy relationships for people to say, okay, I can recognize what's healthy and what isn't. And I think that's the big thing, because like a lot of women, they've been taught, if you're going to be with a man, make sure he can do this or make sure he do that.
Does money matter?
It depends. It depends on the person. To me, I don't think money should matter. Because
you're a man. Most men, a man could date a woman that works at Burger King and nobody will bat an eye. If she cute, bad, whatever, that's his bae. Women almost would be ashamed to say they date, and most women will not agree to this. They will not admit this. But most women will be ashamed to say, if they're at a certain level, a certain status, they're like, well, maybe he working his way up.
Define be with. Because there's a whole lot of women that I know that have some type of title or whatever, and they live a little ray.
They always say.
Banging the guts out on the low though.
You got a college degree getting tricked by a dude with a 6th grade education.
Bam! So, I mean, like, you have to define that. Then they turn around and be like, man, I ain't shit. Wait a minute, like, hold up. You putting yourself in the spot. Did nobody tell you to buy this nigga a 87 Monte Carlo with 24s and a bad carb? Like, what?
And he ain't got no license.
Right.
You know this person we talking about.
That's a bad business decision.
Is that bad box management?
You gotta manage the box. And fellas, you gotta manage your shit too.
What does that mean?
Man, listen. You cannot put your shit in every female. You just can't. You can't. You have to be selective too. Like, that's the thing. We just freely jump up in it. Nah, man, fuck that. Fall back. I'm gonna tell you, you know what one of the most successful times of my life was when I lived in Detroit. Okay?
Yeah.
And we all know about Detroit.
Do we?
Detroit, there is no other city in America that has a higher population of outstanding black women than Detroit.
And what did you do?
I was celibate for a whole year.
365 days.
Yes, sir.
How?
Disciplined and just focused. And I got so much more shit accomplished.
So
And then I fucked up.
How did you mess up?
That snappy nappy dugout.
What happened? How did you fall off? Was you in the car? Come get me, Scotty?
Man, that was bad.
What you calling Troy? Troy, come get me, Troy.
Man, it was bad. It was bad. I fell off.
So when you fell off real bad.
The light is in my eye.
No, he synced it. He synced it. That's how you fell off. That's how you fell off.
But I'm saying, fellas, you have to learn how to be more selective too.
But isn't it true that if a woman gets a man who has a reputation of being a ladies' man, if a woman gets that man to settle down, I'm not saying that's an accomplishment, but it's more I don't want to say acceptable, but it's not frowned upon as opposed to a man who does the same thing, right? Do we hold women's reputations against them harder than they hold it against us? Because let's be honest, women should have standards, right? And a lot of times I believe that women are going for a certain scenario and they try to make the man fit the scenario more so than seeing if the man fits their lifestyle.
I agree.
So a woman has all of these criteria as far as looks do matter, but you have
if someone says that looks don't matter, they fucking lying.
Same thing.
Because you have to have some type a level of physical attraction to somebody.
Same thing with money, especially for women. I'm looking for the woman I told somebody this the other day, and it goes both ways. There are a whole bunch of terms that they give women to, like if a woman's a dirtbag, she don't get the dirtbag title. Oh, she's a gold digger. Oh, she know what she worth. Somebody told me the other day that they asked me how old is too old for a woman to be a sugar baby. I didn't know what the fuck a sugar baby was. Mm-hmm. Apparently, a sugar baby is somebody who has a sugar daddy.
Okay.
So somebody said that this woman was like 50 something and the guy was 80 something. Now I said if that was the other way around, he'd be a piece of shit. He'd be a piece of shit. If that man was 50 talking to an 80-year-old woman taking that retirement check, he'd be a piece of shit. If he was 50 talking to a 25-year-old, he'd be a dirtbag piece of shit.
To women. Now, it was an interesting thing that I saw. Mike Epps' wife, they got a divorce, and she was getting like 100 bands a month. Yeah. And she was like, I'm too old to start a career. I need da-da-da-da-da. And it was people like, you go girl, black girl magic, da-da-da-da-da. And then...
Rich, don't get mad.
I'm sorry, Rich, you about to get triggered.
Don't get mad.
The Queen
of New York.
The Queen of New York, Mary J., when she had her whole situation and her man was like, I need to be taken care of, then all the women was like, he a piece of shit, he need the da-da-da.
And did you see that he's asking for more money now? He said all the stuff that's going on with the divorce is put him in the hospital.
Yes.
And he $35,000 a month extra.
The stress is killing me. I'm scared to come out.
He seen that.
I can't even check my social media without somebody.
Someone what you say, bro? He funny, bro. Oh, dang. Yeah.
What you do?
Delete that, man. These lights got me sweating. Hot.
You the one with the fucking
but don't listen.
3/4 length triple back goose shit.
Listen.
Hey, Rich, you gotta Photoshop that shit out.
No, listen. He seen that picture of Mary J. Blige's ass in them swim shorts, and nigga passed out, man.
Nah, man. But what I'm saying is that it's always a double standard.
Yeah, it's gonna be. So women should accept the fact that, especially black men, especially with the incarceration rates and the difference in time we get for crimes as being black men and stuff like that. A lot of black men aren't out.
Would you wife a stripper?
Current stripper or ex-stripper?
Both.
Current, I don't know. Retired?
How long retired? Like 3 months.
No. She can come back like Jordan at 3 months.
She need more than 90 days.
She can come back like Jordan wearing that 4.5.
Man.
I mean, you could.
Yes or no?
You can marry an ex-Backpage prostitute. You wouldn't know. The internet, the interwebs does it. It help, but you could.
So could you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like old folks shit. I guess it all depends. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So, and I say that Because this a nice transition for the next topic. Because Cardi B is just taking the world over.
She's an ex-stripper.
Yes.
And I think the reason why Cardi B is winning, especially in her relationship, or however you want to put it, or because she told the world who she was. Like, don't lie to people. Tell them who you are and give them a chance to accept it or not.
Okay.
So she told them, like, she was getting sloppy toppy. She told them everything. She told everybody before she was even looking at Offset. Her dude was in prison. Right. She knew exactly who she was. So the hardest part for men to deal with is when a woman says she's one thing and knowing she's hiding something else. Sometimes people lie and they try to do it to kind of save you from some hurt. You know, I lied to you because I love you. I lied to you because I didn't want, whatever. But when you blatantly know these things might bother somebody, or you know that these might be problematic situations, like, yeah, okay, I voted for Trump.
Would you wife Cardi B pre Bodak Yellow? Yes or no?
I wouldn't say
yes or no.
Listen, I wouldn't say I would.
Because the bag makes a difference.
She was getting the bag before Bodak Yellow. She was on Love and Hip Hop. She was getting the bag.
Money,
yes, she was.
They ain't getting that much money.
Man, no, not just from the show, from personal appearances. She was coming here. I know some. She was requesting jets, all type of stuff. But This is what I'm saying. I would have hung out with her. I would have dated her. We would have hung out, and that's how relationships usually form. I wouldn't have went into it and said I'm about to wife her. But if I like you, I like you.
He would have dated her.
She said, "Fuck with her and get some money." We would have got some money together.
She did not say that.
She did say that on the hook of the song.
No.
Okay.
You need.
So she didn't say that on the hook of the song. When we're done with this, I'm going to play it for you.
I know what she said in the song.
Okay. Anyway, I would.
How much you want to bet that's not what she said?
She did say that when her verse came on. You don't listen to new music.
I do listen. What the fuck is you talking about?
You listen to new music.
Okay, that ain't what she said.
You listen to anything you listen to is before 1999.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
All right, I'll see y'all later, there, man. Anything before 1999.
Bullshit.
Keep going. Would you date her? I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Would you date her? Would you date her?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because I probably wouldn't date her because I don't know if our personalities would mesh.
What does that mean?
Like I know who I am as a person, and I don't know, and from her being who she is, I don't know if we would mesh. I mean, I think she's an attractive lady.
She is kind of loud,
and like it's some of the shit that she do that I just don't know would mesh with me because I don't like all that like super loud shit and
because both of y'all can't be loud, huh?
Loud. But you know what though? I don't vibe with that. So and then like she drinks, she do a bunch of stuff. I don't do that.
Maybe you could change her life. Could you change her life?
I'm not here to change nobody.
So
I want people to be who they are, and if we're compatible, we're compatible. So but I don't think that me and her would be able.
So you wouldn't give her a chance off top. Like if she came up to you or y'all talk, you wouldn't give her a chance.
It would have to be a vibe there first.
So
I'm not gonna get excited over how a female look.
Of course not. But I think some of that is an act. Some of that has to be an act.
I don't know if it's an act.
Some of that.
I don't think it's an act.
I don't know her. I don't know her personally, so I can't judge her off of what she presents. But I respect and understand what she said.
I respect it, but I'm just telling you, me personally, I just don't think me and her would vibe on that level.
So could you date a stripper?
I've had great friendships with strippers.
Friendships. Rich, we need to put that friendships.
Yeah.
So you've had great friendships with strippers.
Yes.
Why didn't you go with the strippers? Why didn't you become best friends?
Because we had enough respect for each other that we wasn't trying to, be on that level.
Was it your choice or hers?
In some cases, it was mutual.
Have you ever wanted to be with one of your stripper friends and they said no? Like you wanted to do it and she was like no?
Nah.
Because you light skinned, right?
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Okay, that's making sure. Okay, so now transitioning into that because in Detroit, one of the strippers, the strip club owners or the promoters, so one of the strip club promoters, he was on Facebook and Instagram, and he had 2 girlfriends.
Okay,
they were in an open relationship,
yep.
polygamous relationship, and you asked a good question the other day from an economic standpoint,
right?
And so the question that you posed was, you said, especially in the black community, right?
Right.
Could black people participate in a polygamous relationship?
It's black people that's participating in polygamous relationships and don't even know it.
So is ignorance bliss then? So all right, pose the question. Tell the people the question.
Because
I'm not doing any justice.
You had posted a video and it was a set of young professional black women who were talking about the challenges of dating and finding lasting relationships with black men. And this also came up during our day parties that we had in the summer because women were saying, where the men at? We looking for whoop, whoop, whoop. So in the video, it was a breakdown of that it's more women than men off jump.
It was like 1.5 million more single. I think they just went off the dynamics that they had.
Right.
So who was married, who was single, incarcerated. It was like 1.5 million more women. Black women.
So it's more black women than black men. So then you take that pool of black men and you cut it in half
for the married.
That's already married or incarcerated.
Yes.
Okay. So
and then the unknown factor is probably gay.
Right.
And
so now that number
and dating outside of black women too.
Right. So that number drastically drops.
Yes.
So my question I posed is, if you want a relationship with a black man or whatever, and the future of the black family hinged on you making the decision to be in a polygamous relationship, would you be okay with that?
I think most women would probably co-parent or take a sperm donor before they, I don't want to say submit, but enter into a polygamous relationship.
And I think that's more than fair. But moving forward, how beneficial would that be? Because once again, we've already said that a big problem is that a lot of people have not seen healthy relationships.
So healthy.
It can still be a healthy relationship because let's be honest, polygamy is not something new.
No. And then also too, I think most women, and we're saying this from a standpoint of that women can have 2 husbands as well. We're not saying just men. So most times when you present a polygamous relationship, people think that it's about the male's fantasy to have 2 women. Correct?
Yeah.
So we're not saying it from a standpoint of men having their way, having 2 women, whatever. Because let's face it, one woman is hard to deal with. So if you got 2, like that shit's gonna get tough. But tell the people some of the benefits that you were talking about as far as
if you look at it from a group economic standpoint, if it's you and 3 other spouses and all of y'all are working, let's say the traditional whatever is 2 people and y'all both make $50,000 a year. That's only $100,000 coming in the house. Okay?
Wait, you said what?
If it's a man and a wife,
2 people, $50,000.
It's $50,000.
Yeah.
But if you're in a polygamous relationship and it's 4 of y'all, hell, even if 4 of y'all make $40,000,
yeah,
that's $160,000.
Yeah.
coming in the house.
Yeah.
And if you're doing things in a group setting, a lot of your cost is going to be reduced and you have more time to do different things. Because if we're a team, you can handle this, you can handle that, I can do this, yada, yada, yada. I mean, now you have more time, you have more resources.
I think a lot of women come from the standpoint of why should they have to share? But it's at some point, if the numbers keep dwindling, it will become survival, correct?
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this so we can wrap this up, come full circle.
Yeah.
Would you ever enter a polygamous relationship?
The young me would have jumped right on it. Yeah, I'm in it. But now, relationships are a lot of work, man.
Absolutely. So would you, right now?
I don't know. I would have to, cause you be scared. Like, all right, you sure you cool with this? I'm gonna go ahead and tell her, come on over. You sure you cool with this? And the motherfucker, aha, I caught you. Like, so I don't know, man. It's just.
So that's enough.
It's not a hard no, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like, a lot of this stuff takes deep thought. I wouldn't just jump into it and say yeah. It would definitely have to take some understanding from a couple of people. I can't just say I'll take 2 women or 3 women or whatever, because at the end of the day, from my standpoint as a man, I would have to provide for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to, it's principles that I have as a man that,
And what are those principles? No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Like, here you go. No, I'm saying, like, it's certain things that you have to do. So you're
saying no?
I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yeah. It would have to be agreed upon. The terms would have to be solid. Like,
I mean, obviously somebody got to be okay with it.
But some people might be on the fence. I'll try it. And then what if you get used to that lifestyle? Like, okay, we got 3 incomes coming in. Now you want to leave. Like, we invested in this situation based upon 3 incomes.
But you saying this, like people in traditional relationships say, I'm leaving because I don't like this. And then you got to rearrange yourself anyway.
Yeah, but that's still taking a lesser blow. Like, could you imagine?
How is it?
Losing 1 woman is devastating for some men, I'm sure. Like, it's devastating. But losing 3 or 2, and you got kids, 2 and 2 or something like that.
I'm just saying.
They could wake up and both put you on child support. Like, you can, like, that's, and you entered into the situation based upon the fact
But this goes back to a situation where both men and women need to be selective with who they deal with.
People change though, bro.
They do. But I'm saying, if you have understanding and you are selective from jump,
there's no way possible to be certain about anybody that you're dealing with.
I'll give you that.
Rich could rob us all right now. I mean, I know you, but like, there's no way certain. You have to have a certain trust level there, yes. But everybody you deal with, you're stepping out on a limb with. Like, you're stepping out on a limb. So,
well, let me tell you this. This is my thing. I probably, if I could go back and change some things, I could probably entertain a polygamous relationship because I would do some things differently.
Like what? What would you do differently?
I would approach investments in wealth building totally different. I think you definitely, one of the big things that people don't understand is, like, having children are expensive. It's a very expensive thing, and you need to properly build a foundation before you even enter that. So if I built my shit up correctly in the beginning, and then I put myself in a position where I entertained a woman or more than one woman, we could continue to build upon that foundation and have it set up where it's like, all right, well, things is rolling.
Because let's be clear, like we said before, I don't think
because
the bulk of most relationships, because I think in a polygamous relationship, everybody think, okay, well, we all land in the same bed.
No, it don't have to be.
And it's not like that most times. If you look at some documentaries and some research on it, but most women, I don't know.
And it's other cultures and religions,
yeah, for sure,
that have that, and it's okay.
Yes.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying.
And it's not based upon sex either. So most people think, okay, well, It's a sexual fantasy for most men.
But see, the thing is that people don't want to expand past fucking, and it has to be more than just sex.
Yeah, for sure.
It has to be more than just sex.
Yeah, no, I don't see how people are. I don't see how you could. Me personally,
the power of the P is a motherfucker.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll leave that at that.
You want to leave it at that?
Bam.
Okay. Next topic. LeVar Ball. That's your guy.
Lithuania.
Yeah, that's your guy. Jersey sold out in 8 hours online at Amazon.
Really?
Yes.
The Lakers jersey or the Lithuania jersey?
Lithuanian jerseys.
Wow.
They sold out, I think it said 8 hours, but then people were hating. So the guy posted on Twitter that the jersey sold out in 8 hours. And then people were like, no, they're not. They still up. I still can buy them. Stop lying. They didn't sell out. And then other people would come on like, no, the site said they're gone. You can see the jerseys, but their jerseys sold out in 8 hours. I think even LeVar has a jersey too, number 99. And I think all three jerseys, I know that the boys' jerseys for sure have sold out in 8 hours. And then the team made a statement basically saying that they're going to utilize the publicity and make sure everybody becomes, they benefit from it. It's not just a... And I was talking to my guy Dez at Moneyball. Shout out to Dez. And he has a clothing line, Moneyball Sportswear, and he was telling me basically how it happened, like with the shoes and stuff. He was saying like, when you deal with overseas vendors, especially with a new mold, you have a new shoe,
right,
that it can be expensive because they don't have the mold there. They have to come up and make the mold,
right,
and it can be expensive. And he was like, he probably didn't pay for that many shoes up front, and then the order exceeded the amount of shoes that he had.
Right.
So then he had to go back overseas and make sure he got the other shoes pressed up. And people are receiving their shoes now. They're getting the shoes that they ordered, and they were very expensive because the molds were expensive. To make those shoes were very expensive. That wasn't the mold that's sitting around.
Right. When
you make Jordans, those Jordans are coming back out 100 times over. They have that material already.
Right. The mold is already made.
It's already made. So now, like Dez was telling me, that it's with his execution with the product. His product has to be up to par because at some point in time they're going to put it under a microscope. They're already doing that.
Absolutely.
So it's a critical point for LeVar. I like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. People got to understand what TV and what show business is. It's show business. He could very well not be like that in person or at home. He could very well have seen the lights come on. Because me and you, we've been doing this for a minute. And it's certain things that we can and can't do right now because of other obligations. But he's free. Right? He's free from any other obligations. And so when you're free from other obligations, you can speak your mind more freely. It's chess, not checkers. Don't get it mixed up. People thinking like, okay, well, we got a podcast, we can say what we want. We can't say just anything. You know what I'm saying? He has the freedom to voice his opinion and say what he wants. So he's in a rare space right now. So now, like I was talking to Dez, I was saying, don't be surprised if they try to dig up something on him. Because that's the only thing that will stop him right now. That's the only thing that will stop him.
They've thrown so many things at him as far as being a bad parent, being a sexist, all this other stuff. The ball train is going to continue to go. And ultimately, their goal as a family was to what?
Get his son to the Lakers.
That happened.
And he wanted to own the brand. He had some shoe deals. They had some offers.
Wasn't enough money.
Well, it was $100 million, but it was he wanted $1 billion. He felt like he wanted to own. So it didn't start off at $1 billion. He started off, I don't want to say reasonable, but he started off at a normal NBA star. His son's the number 2 overall pick.
Right.
He started off at that rate.
Mm-hmm.
And around that rate. And when they told him no, he was like, I want this rate and I want ownership. I want a percentage. And they wouldn't give it to him because to the shoe companies, $100 million is not nothing.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Right. So, as a family, they had a goal for their 3 boys to become professional basketball players.
Yes.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
Because, and see, this is the thing. This is a wrinkle that a lot of people don't understand. Yes, is it the NBA like one of the highest stages?
It's the highest.
It's the highest stages stage for basketball,
Yeah.
but it's not the only stage.
You're right.
It's not the only stage, okay?
Right.
And with the whole bullshit with high school and NCAA and everything else like that,
Yeah.
if I can go play better competition.
Well, it's been done before. Brandon
Right.
Jennings went overseas instead of going to college.
Right.
A couple other players. Ferguson that plays for
Right.
OKC. He went to Australia for 1 year instead of. You just have to be 1 year removed from your high school graduation.
Right. So, the question, because a lot of people was like, oh, he pulled him out
So
of
it's
school.
been done before. People
Right.
have dropped out of school.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's been done before. Nothing new under the sun.
And overseas it happens. I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but they played pro ball at 16 overseas.
Right. Tony Parker was a pro at 15,
16 years old, yeah.
He's an NBA champion.
Yes.
You don't think playing at 15, 16 on a professional level prepared him?
It's just like tennis or golf. It happens.
And let's be for real. These AAU teams that go around the country,
Yeah.
they're damn near a semi-professional team.
Yep. Yep. You're right about
It's
that.
just there's no money attached to it.
It's money attached. They just not getting none of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they removed themselves. But I want to ask you this because, you know, a lot of people was harping on, oh, he pulled his youngest out of high school. He pulled the other one out of UCLA. He can't get an education. And to me, everyone's harping on the education. Understand, knowledge is power. I will never say that it isn't.
True.
But if they're putting themselves in positions to win, why fall back on a traditional system that, by and large, has failed more people than it has helped?
Well, it's not guaranteed. If you read like,
I mean, like
no, I'm saying
okay, you got your master's, correct?
Correct.
How much money, with all of your post high school schooling, how much money have you spent with that?
I spent a good amount. I don't want to give a dollar.
Okay,
amount, but
give me an average.
It's over 50,000. Have I spent to get it?
If you didn't have, because I know you've won scholarships and shit like that, because you know you be on your shit or whatever. But if you had to come out of pocket,
oh yeah, it was well over 50.
What's the dollar amount for all of your schooling?
It's well over 50.
It's like your 4-year degree and your master's.
The master's costs more than my 4-year, and then
the master's is like what 40, 50 alone, right?
It just depends on where you go. But I went to So and then the PhD.
So
is more
on average,
but they were going to school for free, so it's not the cost because really, if I was in a different demographic, I could move. I could easily make what my degree is worth.
But this is what I'm saying. A lot of people will put themselves in debt to chase a traditional stream of education is the path.
Well, because they don't have. This is what people do. They reach for accomplishments to feel validated. So some people, I didn't go to school to feel validated. When I went to school and I was like failing out and all stuff like that, I wasn't happy. I wasn't going to school for what I should have been going for.
Okay.
Once I found what I should have been going for and what I wanted to learn, I'm still going to utilize that. I have an MBA, so it's a Master's of Business Administration. It's a global business degree. I am going to run my own business. Technically, we do that now in some form.
So let me ask you this. The money that people have spent obtaining degrees, masters and stuff.
In their sense, they weren't going to spend any money. They have scholarships.
Okay, I'm talking about most people.
In general, okay.
Okay, the money spent, because this is where we're going to start pulling everything together, all right? Okay. The money spent, the money that people spend going to college, getting masters and all that other stuff for an opportunity. Because it's not a guarantee that you're going to get a job making this kind of money.
I'll put this out now. Education does not guarantee you success.
At all.
Education guarantees you knowledge. And really, you don't have to retain it. You have to just know it for a short amount of time to pass that class. But education guarantees you knowledge. It does not guarantee you a job. If you're going into it strictly for a job, then you have to reevaluate who you are. Mm-hmm. As a black man, I feel like education made me more valuable or viable to environments that didn't see my value at times. It puts me in a conversation. I know what education is. I know what learning is. So now, to piggyback off what you said, taking them out of school, homeschool happens all the time.
Right.
Life is education too. Mm-hmm. The education that they will get abroad, they're going to pick up another language. They're going to pick up and be engulfed in another culture, first and foremost.
Right.
They're already learning the business aspect of it. And let's be real, we're going to keep it funky. Most people who go to school for sports are athletes who are forced to go to class.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it funky.
Yeah.
They're athletes forced to go to class. Because if it was just for a scholarship...
They're employees of the school.
The band member gets the same scholarship as the football player. And he doesn't have to make a tackle.
Right.
So...
He can keep a job.
And he can keep a job. He's learning a trade. You know what I mean? Sports is not guaranteed, whatever. Nope. The education that they're getting, you cannot compare their experience to a regular person's experience. They're not regular. That's what people need to understand. So their situation is not regular. People need to understand it. So when he pulled them out of high school, he has enough money to get him the best tutors.
Right.
I'm sure there are some English exchange students over there, some English teachers, some school teachers, and he's going to get an education.
All right. So let me ask you this, okay? Because you've also taught at the high school level.
Yes.
You've done some sub-teaching, you've ran a bunch of classes or whatever, and even with college. What are some of the flaws that you see in a high school level and even at college? Like, what are some of the flaws with the education system? Because to me, I feel like the system that we have in place right now does not properly prepare any student to come out and be successful.
Well, you're big on life skills. So I'm sure that's probably the aspect of what you're saying. It doesn't teach enough life skills, correct?
I mean, even
why isn't the system successful to you? Like, why doesn't it prepare the kids?
I feel like the system is only preparing people to be consumers. I know that when I graduated high school, we had to take a computer typing class and know how to sign a check.
Yeah.
Okay? No one taught us about credit scores. No one taught us about credit. No one taught us about how money works. No one taught us even basic shit like how to change a tire.
And that,
like shit like that.
And those things faded away because there was wood shop and there were automotive classes and stuff like that.
Those were there. And like what's crazy is like it's industries now that are in manufacturing and stuff like that. What a lot of people don't realize is that, yeah, you can go to college and get you a bachelor's degree and spend anywhere between $50,000 and $80,000 for a bachelor's degree to get a job making $35,000 a year.
Well, see,
okay, hold on.
Okay,
let me finish my point. Yeah. Okay, so people will do that because society be like, oh, he has a degree and he got a degree and got a job. But someone can go to a trade school for 18 months, become an elevator mechanic.
Less than 18 months.
Right, become an elevator mechanic, make $100,000 a year.
But again,
as an elevator mechanic, but it's frowned upon because it's not the traditional.
It works both ways. There's only so many elevators. So what I'm saying is that education is needed because it's a separation tool too. It's a part of the race. Okay, you want this. If you want this, go through this gauntlet. So you're right. Some people can go to trade school, but everybody can't be an electrician. Or everybody's not a physical hands-on person. And that's what our society kind of moved away from. They moved away from the physical manual labor. Parents working in post office or factories, and those jobs are fading away.
Well, I mean, the nature of that industry has changed.
Yes.
Okay? But I'm saying there's skills. There's skills out here that you can never outsource.
You're right. But
your toilet get fucked up. Remember you had an issue with your shit? You had to pay. Yeah, you had to pay somebody, even though you got a deal. If you would have picked up the phone, Googled somebody, they was gonna fucking tax the shit out of you.
No, the dude came and then I called somebody else who had, the hood.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But if you just would have, you can't outsource that shit. So I'm saying there's different skills out here that you can make a living.
You're right, but everybody don't. Would you rather deal with a toilet or deal with a book? Some people just rather deal with the educational component.
And that's fine.
And the thing, like I said again.
But why not know how to do both?
It's time consuming. It's time consuming. The older we get, and then we're a lazy society now. You know, even as men,
it's been designed that way.
I understand that, but this is what I'm saying about the education component. It's needed. You need teachers. Teachers are underpaid, but you need teachers.
I wholeheartedly agree.
And so when you ask me what's wrong with the educational system, it's a cookie cutter system. You're forcing everybody to learn the same way. You're forcing everybody to learn the same thing in the same process, and it may not work that way. Everybody has different developmental skills, and then the problem is you want everybody to fit it in 50-minute segments. Okay, class is 55 minutes, 5 minutes between classes, and you got a lunch. You want them to retain this information, or even just block schedule it for 120 minutes or 100, however you're gonna do it.
Okay,
that's to me what's wrong with the educational system. And then you took the care out of the school. Teachers used to care more. They used to contribute more. So now some people are going. It's just like a police officer. Some people go to school for these jobs. Because it guarantees them a job, but they don't have a passion for it.
Right.
Teachers used to be passionate. And you need passionate people. It needs to go beyond the pay. Certain things need to go beyond the pay. And people need to understand that every teacher's not going to care. You need to get this work done. And that's a life skill you have to adjust to.
Okay.
So the problem with the educational system is that there's a lot of people involved in the educational system that don't care. They only want the check.
Right.
But it's easier to go to school for some to be a teacher as opposed to being a plumber or whatever. Because if it was about the money, everybody would be a doctor or a lawyer. You know, or you know, and then it takes risks. School is a safe route for some. It's a comfort route.
Is it safe?
For some, in the process, yes. It's safer for some people to go get some money to go to school, borrow money to go to school, and to open a book and read than it is for somebody to take their last and open up a business or bet on themselves. Now you're going into personal preference and upbringing, and people don't know how to bet on themselves. So in their instance, in the Balls instance, they are betting on themselves. They have a backing too. Their brothers in the NBA, they have Lambos and Ferraris, and then their dad had some money before too.
Right.
So he was living in
Chino Hills.
Chino Hills. That's not a broke neighborhood. If you look at their house when they was doing the commercial,
that's not the hood.
That's not the hood. And then you see when they got into it, like you could tell in their upbringing, the middle child always has the middle child syndrome. So the oldest brother, when they got in a fight in the Lakers game, he walked away. They're not really going to fight. He's probably never been in a fight.
Right.
The middle child is the middle child. They're saying he's not the best one, so he's in China still. And he's probably more aggressive, or he's hanging out in the inner city or doing more than the other ones. The younger brother is the baby, and he's supposed to be the heir apparent. So they have their personalities and stuff like that. But from a standpoint, they have a father who's backing them. They have money that, like their father was already in the NFL, or he played football. He was flipping houses. We don't know their whole background. Mm-hmm. So pulling them out of school, or they move to their school just so they can play basketball. He's just being honest about the process. He's just being honest about the process. My kids are playing basketball. They're already rich. He didn't say they wasn't going to get an education.
Right. So, let's
go ahead.
Let's put a bow tie on it.
Go ahead.
10 years from now. You. I'm talking about you.
Okay, yeah.
10 years from now.
Yes.
You have children.
Yes.
That are entering school.
Okay.
Do you put them in this traditional system, or would you keep them at home and teach them yourself?
I would put.
Where would they get the best?
I wouldn't put them in a traditional system, but I believe that school, outside of the learning component, builds character. You need recess. You need to get pushed down at recess. You need to learn how to share. You need to be in those environments because that builds character. Isolation for a young child can be dangerous.
Okay.
So if you just have them at home, and then like social media, it makes people antisocial. So when you take a kid out of that environment, that school environment, I've learned a lot at school. I made a lot of good friends. I learned a lot of people skills at school. And
could you learn those skills anywhere else but there?
Yes. Military school. It has to be karate classes. It has to be other things interjected in the
right. And obviously, I'm not saying that they would just be at home reading books or anything.
But that would be the bulk of their interactions with me. Now I have to be a parent and a teacher. So I would put them, me personally, that's why I went to college, because I knew that I would utilize my skills. Once I figure it out and put it together, I'm going to utilize my skills. Okay. I wasn't afraid to bet on myself with education, but because you have to finish if you're going to go. But I would hope that whenever I have kids or whatever, or my wife or the woman I have a child with, we on the same page as far as education. I wouldn't necessarily I don't want to say spare a dollar for my child's education, but I would want to put them in the best situation. So I think for me personally, it would be a combination of public schools and private schools. It would be like maybe a private preschool, elementary type of deal, maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, a public school environment, maybe back to a private school, 7th, 8th grade, and then maybe a public high school, or a different type of high school to where it's, because you invest in your children. It's different now, and we're programmed. The bus comes, let them go to the school you pay taxes for, and that's just your zip code and things of that nature. And because when I went to GRPS, I'm gonna be honest, like I had some great teachers. I had some great experiences, and it was very diverse. I learned a lot. I made a lot of skills. I met a lot of people in those environments where it benefited me greatly. Has times changed? Not with just our district, but with schools in general. Yes.
Okay.
Because it's a fast track. The internet will teach you what you want to know. These kids think they know everything anyway. So in their case, people have to realize the Ball brothers are not normal situations.
Right.
You're like Lonzo is 6'7". He's a 6'7" point guard. Your kids are not 6'7" point guards. Your kids need to go to school and then college. College builds character too. I didn't go to a Michigan State big campus environment. I don't know what I would have been if I went to one of those schools. I stayed local, and good or bad, I might not have made it at one of those schools. But those things matter. Those situations matter. Those environments help you grow up too. So yeah, I think I would probably do a combination of the both, private and public schools, and just and changing their environment.
All right.
So your take on your boy Ball. You have nothing else to say? Because I know you're a fan of his.
I love everything that they're doing, and people want to bash it, but I love everything that they're doing.
So 10 years from now, his effect on
they're changing the whole game. They're changing the whole game, and 10 years from now, there's gonna be a lot of people trying to duplicate what they're doing. There's gonna be some people that's gonna find some success. There's going to be a lot of people that will fail. Same thing with people going from high school straight to the NBA.
Well, they changed that. You can't do that anymore.
Right, but the thing that I'm saying is that there were people who did it and were successful. Then there were also people who did it and wasn't successful. So what I'm saying is, with them not going to college, having their own sneaker or apparel deal, there's going to be more people doing that.
Like I said before.
And a lot of people going to fail because, a lot of people like, oh, well, you got your own brand, but you're wearing Nike this game, Adidas that game. And he was like, the freedom with owning your own company is you can do whatever you want. Because if I own my own sneaker and I want to wear Nike, I can wear Nike.
Yeah.
Especially if they say, all right, opening night, All-Star game, I'm going to give you $50 million to wear this one sneaker for this one game. Okay, cool. Now
he's not locked in.
I'm not locked in.
Yeah.
I have the freedom to do whatever I want. And I can have shoes or certain situations across multiple platforms.
Yeah.
He
really could do multiple shoes in multiple seasons and sign 6 game. He could break it down to game contracts.
Right, game for All-Star game opening night. I'm gonna charge you $20 million. All-Star game, I'm gonna charge you $40 million because people are gonna be watching
it's a limited edition shoe.
The shoe culture is such a big thing now,
and it's ever changing.
For example. LeBron has dropped so many different versions of his shoe this far of the season.
Yeah.
It was even 2 years ago, you would have never heard of a player dropping a MLK pack.
Yeah.
Okay, now players are dropping an MLK pack for the game that they play. A Christmas shoe, an All-Star shoe, an opening night shoe.
People that's kind of stepped out too. D-Wade and them signed with the Chinese company, and they got ownership stock.
Right.
And so that
Clay signed with a Chinese company.
Same company.
Is it the same company?
Yeah, they have one, and then Tony Parker signed with somebody else too. But they have ownership stock. But with that being said, I think his biggest influence on the culture will be this league that he starts, because once he gets a high-profile player to sign with him for that 1 year, and he pays and the money's good and the game's good, and he makes them a viable candidate to get drafted, college basketball is in trouble.
Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna take it a step further. It'll take more money, but the first person that do this for football,
it's over. Now, quick shift of a gear.
Quick shift.
Ratings for the NFL have dropped tremendously.
Yes.
Couple questions. What's the cause? Is it the people protesting the anthem, or is it the people protesting the anthem? And
it's the
does the league itself recover? And if so, what has to happen?
Yes, they recover. They'll let a black owner in. I don't know if it'll be with the Panthers, but they'll appease us. They'll appease black people, and they'll give them a percentage. The league didn't do anything wrong, because all the players are kind of getting screwed. There's a lot of money the players don't see.
Right.
The league didn't do anything wrong. Kaepernick just used the platform to basically voice his discretions with black people being murdered unjustly by the police. He used his platform, and the NFL got caught in the wind. So it's not like it's the NFL's fault, but they just happen to be the highest platform that he was on. If he was a soccer player, it happened at soccer. So it's not the NFL's fault per se. And so now you have a situation where, okay, we're the bulk of your employees, and I need you to stand behind me. And then you have, we're the bulk of your viewers, or a good percentage of your viewers, I need you to address this issue. It's just what everybody meets to discuss the issue. It's not really the NFL's fault. They just got caught in the crossfire because that's where everybody meets to go play. And then other things got brought to the forefront. You have the concussion issue. You have the insurance issue. You have the injuries, and then the lack of black ownership. Things start getting uncovered. You know, if you party in that one house and this house gets raided, the cops are going to search it. So right now there's a search going on. So people, like you said, so you have people not watching the NFL because they didn't address the issue. And it's not the NFL's issue, because the NBA caught it before it happened. If y'all protest, it's a problem. They told them, you protest, this is
But see, the thing is that
because it's not their league. It's not anybody's league.
But they did. But the NBA had that issue with old boy back in '96, and they changed that rule.
But it was one person,
right? And they nipped that shit in the bud.
Well, because the NBA players get treated better than NFL players.
Right. It was more money on the line.
It's more money. It's more games, but it's less. Basketball is a physical sport. Football is contact. It's boom, boom,
right.
You're done, boom, boom. Basketball is constant, bumping, hitting, pulling, whatever.
It's a totally different thing.
It's a totally different thing, and like, you know, whatever.
So the NFL recovers by doing what? Letting a black owner in.
Well, they're going to appease. They're going to appease if this continues.
So is it because is the viewership dropped based solely on people saying I'm not watching the NFL because of the anthem protest?
Because it's both ways. I'm not watching.
Is it both?
Listen, I'm not. People are saying I'm not watching because you didn't address him protesting this, and then other people are not watching because you didn't address the issue that he's protesting. So, like I said, the NFL is just where they met to fight over this issue. If he was a soccer player, baseball player, whatever, and then the NFL already has other issues. So it's like it's not the cleanest sport or the most viable sport as far as drama is concerned, because you have the brain injuries, you have people in NFL, you know, commit, like it's things to do with their mental. You know what I mean? And it's a brutal sport, so it's already a violent sport. So those things, it's a perfect storm for people to hate on it. So again,
I'm gonna tell you what, The NFL will never be the same again.
Yes, it will when they appease the people.
It
If they let Diddy in to buy the Panthers, everybody gonna be doing the Diddy dance again, and it's going to be Janet Jackson and the Titty. Did it recover? Yes. Justin Timberlake doing the Super Bowl.
But what did they do to Janet?
Nothing.
Bullshit.
Man, it wasn't her fault. They did throw her under the bus for a couple of years, and now she back.
Is she?
Yeah, man.
Nah, she ain't. Listen, Justin Timberlake did not get the same level of ridicule, but that's a whole nother topic.
You're right. You're right.
So,
right.
And he did it.
You're right, but
and there's a difference. But what I'm gonna say is, and we'll wrap this up, okay? The NFL will not get back to where it was. Think about it. Baseball was America's game, America's pastime, and they took a big dip a couple times, and they still haven't been able to get back to where they once was. NFL, they've taken such a hit, and like you said, on multiple things. Like, honestly, I wouldn't want my son playing football because of the concussion shit.
Yeah, LeBron didn't let his kids play football.
You know, it's like,
and
I'm straight.
Age thing there too.
You know what I mean?
And
because
you have a lot of black families
you can't
to escape.
Right. They use it to escape, but see, the problem is that if you have better group economics through polygamous relationships, you don't have to have your kids play football. But
I like that was a good one. I agree. That was a good one.
But what I'm saying is that
better group economics through polygamous relationships. That's going on the T-shirt. Better group economics through
T-shirt 58
polygamous
rich. T-shirt 58 rich.
I gotta remember that better group economics through polygamous relationships.
And your kids won't have to play football and get concussions.
You gotta put that at the bottom.
Right.
In small print.
Right. Put an asterisk at the bottom.
Oh, my bad.
This is for us, baby.
Yeah, this is for us, man. We doing this for Junior.
The children are the future. So that's my take on it. We're gonna wrap the show up. Make sure that you subscribe.
I don't know if it's gonna be there.
Rich gonna put it right here.
Rich, you gonna put it?
If not, it's just gonna look like me doing this. And
Rich
this is gonna show that Rich did not put the subscribe thing right here.
Yeah.
And then follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I am DJ Composition.
You got a Snapchat?
Yes, I got a Snapchat.
I don't have a Snapchat. What's your Snapchat?
DJ Composition.
Everything DJ Composition.
Everything DJ Composition. Right here. Boom, boom. The Two Bright Guys. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
With the number 2.
Number 2. Right there.
The Twitter's 2BG. No, the Instagram is 2BGs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mine is Young OG, Young_O_G_. I might change it to the coldest. I was still cold even though I was sweating. I'm still kind of cold, man. I ain't got nothing on but a shirt.
And on that note, we shall be back sooner than you think. Follow us.
We'll be back next week. They don't know what week this is. We'll be back next week.
I said sooner than you think.
Yeah.
We out here rolling, man.
We got some guests coming up too, right?
2018. Yeah.
So violent. We got some guests coming up. Can't speak on it just yet.